Strategic communication is very important, whether it is in your relation with people daily or when you're giving a presentation. Do not mistake strategic communication for manipulation or pretense. In fact, on this channel, I am very particular about living life as your most authentic self. So what you're doing when you are strategically communicating is that you are sharpening the communication area of your life without losing your personality. But do you know that there's certain ways people communicate or certain words that people use when communicating that immediately reads off low self-esteem and the fact that they are not so confident about whether it is the topic or themselves. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you those sentences that you use that have made people question your confidence and give you sentences that you can use in place of those sentences. If you've ever said, I don't know, but, or I'm not sure, but, then you are amongst the set of people that would go ahead with their suggestion, but you've already second-guessed yourself at the start of your suggestion. So there is no way anyone will hear you and believe that you are certain of what you are talking about, because the first words or the first sentence that you made use of was, I don't know, but I am not sure, but you have just second-guessed yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, do you want another person to believe in you? I believe I killed two birds with one stone when I gave the first point, because I mentioned I'm not sure but and I don't know but. This is the third point. This is people who would end their statements and ask, does that make sense? Even their facial expression or the way they ask that question, you already know that they are second guessing themselves. So these sentences that we make use of that immediately brings down our confidence are sentences that question our ability and question our knowledge. The fourth one is asking, what do you think, at the end of your sentence. While this question is an inclusive question, it can be used in settings where you're trying to brainstorm with a group of people. But if you're giving a presentation or you're trying to exact your point or your suggestion, you should be bold enough and be confident enough to own your statement. So once you make a statement, you're not asking for any other person's opinion, and this is not you being aggressive and overconfident. In fact, it is you being strategic with the way you have communicated that particular idea or opinion. Another exception to asking what do you think at the end of your sentence is when that question is rhetorical. It's a question that doesn't need an answer. Let's say, for example, you're introducing a project idea where you have to fix the roads. At the end of your sentence, you're going to want to ask, or what do you think? Or don't you think that that is the best move to make? Nobody needs to answer that question. You yourself, you're satisfied with your idea, and you know that anybody that hears it will be satisfied with it as well, because it's very good, it's a positive one, and it's one that's going to help or build the area that you are choosing to talk about. So here's a correction to all of those sentences so that you start speaking more confidently. Instead of starting your statements with words that will bring down your confidence, here are other things that you could put in place of all of those words that I've just mentioned. Starting your sentence with, I believe that, I believe this is so, I believe this is how it's supposed to go. And saying, I am certain that, I am certain. You are assertive, you are sure, you are taking a stance on that particular word. There is no wavering. That is what these two sentences that I've just shared with you can do in your communication. It will position you in a place of respect. It will position you in a place of confidence. There's no one that would hear you start your statement with, I am certain that this is how it's going to be. That will not think they know what they're saying. In fact, let me do a test run. I am certain that if you have watched this video up until this point, in your next communication, you'll be communicating more clearly and more confidently. As opposed to, I think that at the end of this video, you would have learned, I think that at the end of this video, you would have been able to communicate better. I think. Do I think so? I don't think so. I know so. And that is why I'm confident enough to share it with you. And that's another lesson. It means that if you're going to make use of these sentences, I am certain, I believe, you're not using I think, it means that you should have a very factual backing. And I know you know what you're going to say whenever you're communicating. So these words should be really added to your vocabulary, okay?